talking about the trailer for Sinister, a horror film by Summit Entertainment, which is a Lionsgate company. So, without further ado, let us begin. The trailer begins when we see a long shot of the main house. Then, the camera zooms into the house, so it feels like you are personally going into the house. It feels so personal. Also a long shot of the house, which makes you feel like you are the monster, looking at the house thinking, they will be my prey. The institution for this trailer is Summit, a Lionsgate production. Well, Summit is of course a Lionsgate company, so this is a Summit production. Now, Lionsgate is what they call a mini-major film company. This means, although it's not as big as other major companies such as Disney or Warner Brothers, it still tries to compete with them. There is a close-up on the protagonist's face while he watches the videos, showing his sheer disgust in what he's watching.
Yeah.
Hello. Now, music is used also in this trailer. One great use is the use of dramatic music. The trailer film is very dramatic, because that's what dramatic music does. And a proper horror film convention. Hello. Now we need to look at the narrative which is shown through this trailer. Well, as you can tell, it's just a male protagonist going into a very dodgy looking house and looking through these videos of families being gruesomely murdered, hanged, torched, drowned. And what he needs to see is that there was some sort of weird monster haunted thingamajig, and it shows that his family are next to die.
Represented like an average horror film. So of course there's a man fighting the situation and his darling wife is constantly screaming at him to save him. Goddamn women, sorry.
As we can tell, this film, Sinister, is a horror film. Now how can we tell this? Convention such as screams, looking through leaves at night, which is, for some reason, quite a big horror film convention. Corpses, blood, all this horrible stuff, and of course, shock factor scares. Boom!
That sucks.
actually know what the word is, but it's quite complex. You get the idea. Basically, it shows a man being in charge, like in quite a lot of Hollywood films. And the wife just getting all scared and saying, please, Mr. Husband, can we leave? And Mr. Husband says, no! And he decides to stay. What a plonker. And it shows that men aren't always that great, because what happens? He screws up. All his family die gruesomely.
You realise you didn't say hegemony, right? Go.
There are many interesting sounds used in this trailer. There's noise of a projector at the end, which shows an important part of the story, which is, of course, the projector. And another really important sound is a sound of screams, which, of course, make it so clear this is a horror film.
Tom, you're freakish. Go.
Now, the audience of this film could be from working class to middle class. To be honest, most people can access it, and you don't really need a high educational level to be able to watch this film and understand what's going on. Isn't that right? Right. Of course, I think the main focus of this film is probably from teenagers to the 20s, to be honest. Yeah. Hello, sausages. Now, of course, there are 6 main target audience groups. These are A, B, C1, C2, D and E. Why they couldn't have just had F instead of 2 different Cs, I don't know. A is upper management. B is something like degree level kind of education. Hello. Now, C1 would be jobs such as skilled workers, you know, like electricians. As I was saying, C1 is skilled labourers, engineers and stuff like that, and apprentices. C2 are jobs like secretaries, that kind of job. I don't know how I ended up in there and then here, but it's a bit strange how that works.
Open sesame.
Hello. As I was trying to say before I was rudely interrupted, D group is stuff, jobs like shop workers, that kind of job, and E is, as you may have guessed, unemployed. Now, who do I think Sinister appeals to? Definitely not A, maybe B, and then you got your C1, your C2, your D and your E groups. This is why I think that Sinister really tries to get on with and really aims to please. Now, one important idea is the idea of uses and gratifications. Sinister isn't trying to convey an important message. The only thing it tries to do is entertain and offer a typical shock factor horror film, like many other films such as Saw films and that kind of thing. So, goodbye, my darlings.
Can you nod your head forward when I tell you to?
Mate.
Now! There we go. Yeah, okay. That works so well. Oh, that actually looked pretty good. Right, Tom, I'm gonna hit you. You ready?
Yeah.
Faster. 3, 2, 1. No, as soon as I say 1, you've got to do it. 3, 2, 1. There we go. That kind of worked.